Hi, everybody. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are. When you are watching this, we are also broadcasting it live on YouTube. So good evening. Hey, Aaron, are you there? Hello, Aaron. Okay, I believe he's just getting online. So
yes, I'm here. Thank you. Sorry, I had a problem with my Bluetooth headphones. I'm here.
no problem. Good to have you here. So where are you now, Aaron? You're back home. Everything's all cool. I know a week ago you were bouncing around Mexico all over the place.
Yes, no, I'm here. Thank you. Yes, I'm here. I'm back. I'm better than ever. And I'm like the 100, was it the $6 billion man? You know, we have to rebuild him. I'm built better and stronger, faster, smarter. And this last week we did really well in the market according to our customers who did really well as well. So
oh yes. Yeah, we had a great time. So, and our customers did, and that makes you even happier. So, all right, gang, it's 8:02. Let's get started. Here we go. And again, welcome to DayTradeSPY.com's weekend review for Sunday, September the 3rd, 2023. My name is Hugh. Yes, Humble Hugh, and co-host here is the infamous Aaron Stevens. By attending this webinar, you fully understand and accept the financial risks involved in trading securities. The risk of loss can be substantial. You should carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you in light of your personal investment objectives and financial resources. You also understand that you're not receiving any advice as to what to buy or sell, but are simply receiving information for educational purposes only. Any decisions concerning a trade are solely your own to meet your personal objectives and risk tolerances. You alone are responsible for all your own trading, and past performance does not guarantee future results. Charts are courtesy of TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim and also Tastyworks. And here we go. There's me live and in color here. This is the Labor Day edition, folks. It is Labor Day. Maybe we'll cut a little bit short for respect of those in labor. Somehow that didn't come
out. For those of us listening to us and doing manual labor.
Doing manual labor. There you go. Just want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, there is a questions box, little icon on your Zoom dashboard. Just click on that. Aaron and I are the only ones to see that, so go ahead and ask whatever you want. Be happy to answer your questions and comments, and we're going to get to, let's get to them right now. So, all right, let's get cooking here. It is Sunday night. I'm going to tell you what we're going to talk about here, a bit of an introduction. And we'll talk about the weekend review and a look at next week. They've got a little fireside chat going on here. Actually, we call it fireside. It's actually going to be poolside. I'm going to change this to call it actually beachside. Beachside. It is still the summer as far as I am concerned. So we're going to call it the beachside chat. And how we can help you become great traders, just like so many people this last week had made a lot of money. Really, really excited for them. Man, we had some great accolades. I just can't believe it. So a lot of good stuff coming up. First, I got a question for you, ladies and gentlemen here. Have you taken any other courses on trading? Just kind of want to get an idea as to where we are going here tonight, and just want to get a feel for what you're doing here, how you feel, and if you know enough about options to engage in this conversation. If you don't know anything about options, let me know. If you're a first time, you've never heard of options, you're new it, and then don't know it, then maybe we'll actually do a little brief, very, very brief kind of a crash course. I don't even want to call it that, maybe a primer on what options are. But I am taking certain assumptions here and assuming that you know what calls and puts are and that sort of thing. So just put in the questions box if you've taken any other courses. And Terry W says no. I guess ours is the only one. He's been with us for a long time, and in fact, this guy's doing great, phenomenal. Thank you so much for that. A lot of yeses, a few of the no's. Okay, are we due for a crash this year? I don't think so. We'll see. All right, good stuff. A little bit of a background on myself, and then I'll go into Aaron's background. I come from corporate America, many years in corporate America, like the good citizen. What I would do is what I did was I went through school, got my degree, got a career job, and socked away a lot of my money for my retirement. And then things didn't quite work out the way I thought they might. When I realized just how, at some point when I opened up those envelopes that they sent me, I thought I would save them and be pleasantly surprised one day and see how much money I have for my retirement. When I finally did open one up and I realized that half my capital was gone, needless to say, I was quite moved by that. And I endeavored to learn how to do this myself and actually change things around. So I seized my account from my financial advisor, never looked back. And I said, okay, obviously I have to learn how to do this myself. And I did. So I took a lot of different courses, but most of what I learned, I learned the hard way in the trenches training is what I got. All right. The real hardcore stuff, the stuff where you get right in the mud. That's what I did. I got dirty hands to prove it. And, and that's the best teacher, folks. All right. That is the best teacher. Most of those other courses really didn't do, a whole lot. I learned a lot of theory, but a lot of the practical stuff, it's what I learned. And that's what I teach, that practical stuff that I learned the hard way. So anyway, it's all good. And I never looked back. And eventually I started making some serious money on the markets, and then people, my associates, neighbors, friends, family, everybody started saying, Hugh, what are you doing? Did you win a lottery? Because suddenly I started bringing home a lot of, new toys, and my life literally changed because I was trading and I was making some serious money. So I started teaching this stuff. As a matter of fact, they coerced me into teaching. I never wanted to teach, but then when I started getting into it, I really enjoyed it, and I kept going. So that's kind of my story. That's my background. And since then, now that was 2010 when we started doing this. And since then, of course, we got into all the different courses and the trading room and inner circle, all this stuff. But again, I've been doing this now since 2010. Short-term breakout trades, mostly for small multiple daily gains. I think that's really cool. Now I'm going to introduce you to the guy I was just talking to here, Aaron. Aaron, it's all yours, buddy. Tell him what you do.
Okay. Sure.
Nobody's as good as you are. There you are.
Yes. I'm kind of got drawn into trading at a young age. I was looking through, I think I was bored in the library one day, and I was looking through magazines and newspapers, and I came across the Wall Street Journal, and I was just drawn to it. And so I started looking at the tickers in the back, and I was like, what does all this mean? Is, these 4-letter, symbols, and then these, 1/4 and 1/8, this was before the stocks went to the decimal system. It's like, what is all this? I think they might have even done 30 seconds back then. I don't even remember, but yeah, so I was looking at all these charts and graphs and stuff, and I just became really interested in it. And, I continued, at that moment, I saw a vision of what I wanted my life to be, which was being a trader, an investor, and, helping others. And that's what happened. So I ended up reading some books on it and opening up my own trading account when I was 17. It was actually a joint trust account with my stepfather at the time. Started trading. I was a hard worker. I started working hard when I was young. I had my first job. I'm not sure if I told you this. Probably, I started working when I was 12 years old. I come from the Midwest, and younger kids would help on farms and whatnot. So I looked at putting my money to work, even at a very young age. And so I started trading, and I made some. I lost a little bit trading, but when the stock market crashed, and I decided to take a break. But when I did come back, I came back full throttle and 100%. So and I came back looking at the markets around 2006, 2007. I was trading for 2 to 3 years off and on, and then I took a break and came back after a few years. And I read all the classics. I read, technical analysis of stock trends, technical analysis of financial markets. I read Trading in the Zone, Disciplined Trader by Mark Douglas, a few other classic books on trading. And I just started looking at charts, and I would print them out even. And I don't even think people do this anymore. I actually got started. I haven't mentioned this before, but I actually started drawing charts with a pencil and ruler. And I just became really, really interested in how the patterns worked and how trading was. And eventually, I went through several different strategies, but I realized that for me, the indicators, too many indicators were distracting. And so I looked at different ways that people trade without indicators. And two of those ways is with the Ender's pitchfork and the Fibonacci retracements and extensions. And so I studied those. And I also self-studied for my commodity broker's license, which is a Series 3. I got that. I studied for it and passed, and I worked for several different companies, commodity firms, and most recently at CPO, which is a commodity pool operator, which is also security, a fund. And so I worked there for a fund that had around $150 million under management as a market technician and a market analyst. So I worked, there's 4 people on our team, and I worked directly under the main trader, providing my analysis to the main trader for the fund every single day. And very, very similar to what we do in the trading room. And as he's going to talk about later, when our indicators unite, our trades ignite, and that's what happened this last week.
Sounds good. No pressure there, Aaron. $150 million, that you're in control of, right? No pressure at all.
Exactly.
Folks, I got to tell you something. All right, I'm going to tell you something. Listen carefully. Between Aaron and myself, we have over 40 years of market participation. 40 plus years. That is a lot of market participation. Now, it's not all good. It's not all bad. But I think I can safely say that when we had the bad times through that, I think Aaron and I we both learned a few things along the way, and it took a lot of effort, patience, discipline, all of those things, and for you to have a couple professional coaches here in your back pocket the way you do, at such a reasonable price. Honestly, I wish I had a Hugh and an Aaron when I was learning this stuff. I could have cut my learning curve right down to practically nothing. So I just, you don't know, you have no idea how valuable, the resources are that you have right at your fingertips right now. And I'm so glad you're here right now listening to this. And I understand it is, Labor Day weekend, and you're probably, probably got some family over for barbecue, sort of the last big weekend in the summer type of thing. So we're going to move along with this and kind of go over the weekend review and the upcoming week, see what's going on here. So one more quick question for you here. Just please put up in the questions box. What is your daily goal in trading? How many people are looking to make it just a couple $100 a day, or say up to 500? And I'm sure there's some of you that are looking at 500 to 1,000. I don't know how many of you are looking at making 1,000 plus a day. Now, we have some people that do that. We have people straight across the board here. So please put in the questions box what your daily goal is, because I want to make sure that we're all in here together and kind of looking at things here. Okay. All right. They're coming from all over the place. A lot of B's, some C's. Okay, cool. It's kind of normal. They can do that with just not that much money. Anywhere from okay, yeah, 2 to 500. Yeah, cool. All right. Michael, Michael V, are you doing D? Are you doing D right now? I'm just curious. I know you're a great trader. I know that. All right. Anything that BC, you can actually do that with just a few $1,000s investment. It's actually not all that hard. Anyway, it's I'm just looking at the thing. When my video freezes, I have this real ugly look on my face. I'm the most unphotogenic, is that a word? Guy out there, like, oh my gosh. I'm so happy that you're not scared away. So anyway, punch it up to see, so I can see what you're looking to do. There's some new people starting with all right, $100 to $200 a day. It's cool. All right, good stuff. Let's move along here, folks. Beachside chat. This is what we're going to talk about. I want you to think about these questions here. So I want to know what your experience is with training courses in general. How do you feel? I mean, there's so much out there. And I know that when I went through these, I guess eventually I was so disenchanted with them, because I would go to these things all excited. And then when I get there and they're talking, a lot of times they weren't talking about what they said they were going to be talking about. This one guy, I remember, went down to Florida. So we're in the Western New York area right now, right? Western New York, Buffalo, Niagara area. So I remember going to Florida, I think it was Orlando. This guy, he was gonna do live trading. Oh yes, he's gonna do live trading. He's gonna show us all how to make money and everything else. We fly down there, and we, of course, all the expense that entails, and the few days that we were down there. And basically, all he did was set up everybody's laptops. I don't even think he did one single trade live, and I was so disappointed with all that. And plus, I think we paid him $5,000 for this, and it was pretty. It's pretty disheartening to see that. But anyway, a lot of courses I thought were very disappointing in a lot of ways. Even, I don't know if misleading is a word, but certainly they were not empowering us to actually execute good trades. Anyway, I'm not here to slam anybody else. They can do whatever they want. It's really up to me. But I remember sitting in the back so many times asking the presenter, so Mr. Presenter, you trade this yourself? And every one of them said, no, I'm just a presenter. I don't trade. It's too risky for me. They would tell me this, and I would just fold up my books, and I'm so out of there, not wasting another second. But I want to know what your experience is, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. What is your pain? If you are not interested in joining, say, our trading room or an inner circle or any of our training, what do you feel is your pain in the stock market? Are you feeling that maybe you're getting in too early, getting out too late? Are you just missing certain key indicators? Are you experiencing maybe a lack of discipline or patience? You find that it's very difficult to sit through a really bad trade and wait for it to come back in your direction. Let's talk about that when we open up the chat line here on this one here. Not that we open up the chat line, but when we get into the actual beachside discussion here. Do you have seed capital of $5,000 to get started? And I do want to ask that because if you're going to thinking like, I remember, Aaron, this goes back to those days. I don't know if you remember these days when maybe they still have them. I don't know. Info commercials. Well, start the real estate world, get in the real estate world with no money down, no anything, doesn't cost you a cent.
Carlton Sheets. He had a late night infomercial. Yeah, I was all over that.
Yeah, you buy the course, no money down. Really? No money down. You're gonna buy real estate, no money. Okay, let's see how that works. Never worked for me. So maybe you had better luck with that than I did, but no, I always had to put money down for real estate. I never got any property without money down, but maybe I failed that part of the course on how to get that no money down stuff. But I don't want to mislead you to think that you're gonna start with $200 and suddenly you're gonna walk home with a bag of gold every day. That's not gonna happen. If you think that's gonna happen, it's not quite that way. But I will tell you something. Aaron and I are working on something unbelievable. And we're going to be releasing that in a little while. So you got to stay tuned for that. That is like the cat's meow. Anyway, seed capital. You do need some money to get started. I don't care where you get it from, folks. Beg, borrow, steal, cash in some investments you might have, borrow from your credit card. I don't care where you get it. That's not my problem. My job is to teach you. Your job is to get a little cash together and let's go have some fun. Do you accept training first or rather just jumping in? I mean, really invest in yourself before you are going to invest in the stock market. I'm a real strong advocate of that. I sure wish I had done that, but no, I know better than anybody. I think I'm going to invest in it. And all of a sudden, you're making money one day and do the same thing the next day and you're losing your shirt. What just happened here? That's what I would do. Whenever I would have losing trades, I'd always go back and see, what did I do wrong? How could I have done something different? What changed? How could this have been a great trade yesterday and I did everything the same today and it's a whole different ball of wax? What changed? You willing to put in that time and effort? If you're not willing to put in the time and effort, I'm going to say you might as well get off the chat line right now. Not waste your time because really, good trading. If you want to be a great trader, you are going to have to learn. It's not, it's like going to school, right? You want to be a lawyer, a doctor, or accountant, or an engineer, any of these professions, pharmacist. I mean, the list goes on. You want to be anything of any value, of any profession, you have to put in the time. And I'm talking about a lot of years in college, postgraduate degrees, all that other wonderful stuff. And there's no guarantee on that either, right? I mean, I know a lot of people went through law school and they became something else, and other people went through accounting and they became something else. And you got to put the time and effort. But I'll tell you, once you do, it is so incredibly worth it. It's not even funny. All right, week in review. This is what the charts looked like this last week. Pretty bullish, I would say, for the most part. We came in from a low here around 438, even a little bit lower than 438, ran up to 453 and change. And that is a pretty good move. We've seen about a $15 plus move in that, almost a $16 move within a few days. So what happened here last Monday was a low or no news day, relatively flat. Key resistance near that mid 442. We bounced around that, came back down, kind of finished the day a little bit higher than that. And then on Tuesday, we had some lower than expected consumer confidence and JOLTS job openings numbers. That, of course, boosted SPY up to 450. effectively filling in the valley from August the 10th. The valley, that's what happened. So the market went down around the middle of August there, August the 10th. And now we just wiped out all the loss that we had since August the 10th as we moved along here for most of August and right into the end of the month on that one here. So we put, boosted right up. So when you get a lower than expected consumer confidence in a JOLTS job openings number, that is sort of anti-inflationary, which suggests that the market likes that because now there's lesser of a threat that the Feds are going to raise interest rates. And the market responds to all of that. Okay. The market does not like rising interest rates. And whenever you remove that threat, the market loves to go into. So we had quite a jump there from about 442 and change right up to 450. Nice $7-8 move right up on that day on Tuesday. On Wednesday, GDP numbers came out. They kept SPY range bound, holding steady under that mid 451 level. There's some very strong resistance there. We did pop up into that. And we did see some sort of when I'm looking at this is actually an hourly chart. When I look and see is some kind of a range bound trading in there. Yeah, we had the spikes going down, but we never really kind of peaked over that 451 in a big way. On Thursday, we had personal consumption expenditures, PCE. That too is another inflation kind of an indicator, and a lower than expected unemployment claims. That brought markets back to the lower 450s with the threat of pressure on interest rates. So when we have lower unemployment claims, that tells us that the labor market is still very strong. And again, that means the economy is chugging along very nicely. And that, of course, is a little bit of a threat to rising interest rates that we're going to see here shortly, I think in September. I'm not really sure when they're going to, when is the next FOMC meeting here in September? Is it September the 30th? Next Fed Reserve meeting, rate increases. I think it's the near the end of February. Listen to me, September. Not really sure. Maybe it's in the middle of September, but it doesn't much matter. September here, it's coming up shortly, so they're going to be concerned about rising interest rates. Friday, we had employment data in Chicago PMI that dropped SPY back to several points before it closed at 451.21. That was sort of an anti-inflationary kind of a number that came up. And again, remember, SPY actually has a short memory for news, but an excellent memory for support and resistance on all time frames. That's why you see those levels at those resistance levels. They actually go back. In fact, we talked about August the 10th, and we found some really strong resistance there where SPY actually, found resistance, and we kind of came back right back to that when we filled in the valley right here on the Tuesday. So it's something to keep in mind. Now, as far as news goes and a short memory, you can see just with this news that how quickly the market sentiment changes. If we have some sort of an inflationary kind of a news report, right away the market punishes. We're punished in that the market goes down. But anything that's showing a better than expected, rather a worse than expected number inflation wise, the market tends to go back up because the threat of rising interest rates is removed. Good news is bad news. Bad news is good news. That's kind of what the whole idea here is right now. Taking a look at the weekend review here. We had early signs of a weakening labor market. Feds may view this data as supportive for keeping rates on pause. So we're going to see what happens in September. Treasury yields may be capped in the near term, given the implication of a softer economic growth and easing inflation. We saw that happen here too, and there's a lot of talk about that. Some of these Fed members speak, and they refer to that a lot. So right there. And again, a cooling labor market should lend itself to a better backdrop for markets, particularly through that historically volatile September. Longer term, rate cuts are expected to be pushed out to May 2024. So they're going to probably hold the line here for a while yet. We thought that maybe earlier in 2024, but the economists, analysts, they're all saying here, we're probably going to get into later 2024. They want to make sure inflation is brought right down to that 2% that they're anticipating. That's kind of what they're shooting for. I know that there's a stronger potential for a rate increase in November than September, but they're certainly keeping an eye on this, and hopefully it'll stay. Hopefully it's not going to get worse, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. From a seasonal standpoint, let's take a look here. This is a seasonal chart, Anybody who is new on, all right, may not know what this is. The blue line is where SPY is now, up around that 451.19. That's kind of where it closed here Friday. That red line at the bottom is a seasonal, is a composite of the last 5 years closing balance on the daily charts. So you can see how that performs. And let's just kind of zero in on this a little bit closer so that you can actually see what's going on here. Now this here, all right, kind of going bouncing back and forth. I zoomed right into this to this line here, and interestingly enough, this has been flat since near the end of August here, and it continues to be flat into September. But I can tell you that longer term into the end of September, we're going to see some bounce. But I think longer term between where it is now and the end of September, there's going to be a bit of a drop. So we got to be very careful on how this goes now. Just because this was history doesn't mean it's going to happen again, but it just might. And there's also a lot of talk that, a lot of this happened because of COVID. So we may see things, differently or maybe the same, but just something to keep an eye on. That just because something did happen, in the past doesn't mean it's going to happen again. But judging by what happened this last week, we did have a little bit of a rise. But is this going to happen into the next week? Not really sure. Let's see what's coming up in the next week here. Forward looking. Let's take a look. Monday, of course, tomorrow markets are closed for Labor Day. Tuesday is also a low or no news day, so not much action there. Wednesday, we have some PMI reports, and that's it for Wednesday. I don't know why there's a comma in that one. Okay, let's go back here. All right. On Thursday, we have unemployment claims and oil inventories. And Friday, again, a low or no news day. And that's all the scheduled stuff. If something, excuse me, if something unscheduled shows up, we don't know about that yet. But this is what's kind of on the roster right now. Relatively quiet week as traders trickle back to work here. Okay, I think a lot of traders are still off summer vacation. They're going to start coming back and start up their engines, kind of in a sort of a slow mode right here. So I think with this here, the bottom line, look for some low volatility for most of the week. And I think trading could be range bound, maybe even negative for most of the week. So suggested here, just aim for smaller gains on what may still be a lighter trading volume. And Aaron, I don't know if this kind of compares with what your longer term assessment is, but this is sort of the way I see the markets as of right now. I'm not sure if you did any analysis on that or not. What are your thoughts?
Well, we called most of the days last week correctly. We talked about the price shooting up, or I think around Tuesday, Wednesday, and it did. We talked about price pulling back on Friday, and there's some profit taking possibly. I did think that the market could, if it did decide to move up, that it could go a little bit higher on Friday, but it didn't. But we did call the sell-off correctly on Friday. So I think almost every single market move that happened last week, we were pretty correct on, and you made some money, and clients in our trading room did as well. So I do think that we are near a resistance point. We have to break over this most recent high on Friday to continue to the uptrend. On the uptrend, just a heads up on that. So we were at a resistance point that hit, and we talked about price possibly coming down, but it might go down Tuesday a little bit or Wednesday a little bit, but I think after that, if we can get above 453.64 level that we hit as resistance, which was the bottom of the gap that we were talking about for the entire week of a gap being filled. We were talking about that all the way down at around 435 and the 436 level. We were talking about that, and then last week, all the way down at the last Monday, price was around the 441 level. So we were talking about price rising into the 453 level, all the way back down at 441 and 441.50. So as price rose, a lot of people took advantage of that in the trading room, and they were able to make some money.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. I just got a report here that one of the guys here, Mike V, is saying how he was up last week 6,000 for the week. Then he lost 2K on Friday, so he's still up 4K for the week. And I always like to say that too. you don't have to gain on every single trade, but like in my world, I just want to kind of be up for the day, and possibly up for the week. And I think that's really amazing here. Mike, congratulations to be up 4K for the week. So I'm just thinking here, if you're up 4K for the week, and if you were to say extrapolate that to 50 weeks in the year, you're looking at a $200,000 a year doing something really enjoyable, trading options for an hour or two in the mornings, which is what my dream job is. Okay, make a few bucks in the morning and enjoy the rest of the day. Now, you probably don't know a lot about me, but I'm 68 years old, father, grandfather. I do enjoy spending time with my kids and grandkids and just doing other things. I enjoy aviation. I enjoy, the water, the beach. I enjoy hanging out with my wife, doing things and relaxing. And I, of course, I enjoy the stock market too, but I'm no longer so obsessed and immersed in the market like I used to be a long time ago, when all I ever did think about markets 24/7, and I mean that sincerely, because I used to do Forex. And for those of you familiar with Forex, that goes 24/6. And I remember trading Forex. I'd be up all night trading, Swiss francs and German marks and US dollars and Australian and this and that, back and forth. And I remember my wife coming down in my office to say, okay, like it's 5 a.m, you come into bed and all. And I said, well, the options market's gonna open up in a couple hours or whatever, so I think it's just gonna stay up. I mean, it's just not healthy. It's not healthy for anything. And it's just crazy. Not to mention the fact I really wasn't making a whole lot of money doing that either. So I mean, I wasn't even driven by the money as much as I think the challenge of it. And I think this is one of the things with trading options. It's a very challenging kind of a thing, and you want to, and the money is just a way of keeping track, I think, more than anything else. But it's a very challenging kind of a thing, beating the market. You feel good. Oh, look at this! I made money. And I beat the market. So I think a lot of people would admit that this is an addiction. So, but a good addiction if you can control it. And once I got into the trading just SPY options and trading the way we trade, I felt that, okay, finally, it's like this is what I was meant to do, and I can make money in the mornings and just enjoy the rest of the day. We've got all 4 seasons up here. We get some pretty brutal winters, but at the same time, we get some really nice summers and a lot of things to do. And you want to take advantage of all of that life has to give you. And if you can keep things in balance, right? Life, family, material, spiritual, mental, everything in life is balanced. It's about balance, right? And then I think you become a better trader as well. So anyway, folks, many opportunities to make money every day. This isn't just once a day. Oh my gosh, I missed the opportunity. Okay, I'll be back tomorrow. Many opportunities all day long, and we teach you how to spot them and how to trade them. I think that's really important. All right, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about the trading room. All right, we teach live, and it's a live teach and trade workshop. We teach you every morning how to recognize opportunities in the market using our various strategies that we use and our techniques. All right. And what we do is we get together at 9:20. We discuss the news and the events that are shaping the markets that day. You see, personally, I'm just not all that smart that I can predict where the market's going to be a year from now or 6 months from now, a month from now, or even a week from now. But I've got a pretty damn good idea where it's going to go today. And same with Aaron. Actually, Aaron does have longer term projections than what I do. And that's why we say that when our indicators unite, our indicators unite, our trades ignite. So Aaron and I both use completely different, separate, unrelated indicators. So when Aaron says the market's going to go up here today, and I say, yeah, I'm seeing the same thing. The markets are going to go up today. So when we get these indicators saying the same thing, coming together the way they do, it's a pretty safe bet that markets are going to go up. Now, to be clear, nothing's ever 100%, but I think that we're pretty spot on when we hit the nail on the head on that one. These live trading sessions, folks, are moderated by expert traders, Aaron and myself, And again, we've been doing this now for a long, long time. Aaron's got some designations behind his name. I don't. I've got other letters that don't mean anything in this world, but I've got experience. I've got experience, and I think experience speaks a lot in this world. You want to talk to somebody who's experienced and not just theory, okay? And I think you'll probably agree on that. So again, our strategies come alive every morning, and we stay there till 10:30. Now we had summer hours; those are finished now. So we go back to our regular hours, 9:20 to 10:30. So we're not monopolizing your whole day. This is not a coffee club or a drop-in center where you can come and go any day, all day, and stick around all day. And we're not manning the microphones every morning, 9 till 4. And no, it's an event. We get together, we say, okay, the market's going to go down today, or it's going to go up today. Here's what we're looking at. Here's the setup. Here's my entry point. Here's my target. Bang, bang, bang. We made some money. Thank you very much, Mr. Market. See you tomorrow. And a lot of people, they chime in here. Oh, we had some great accolades this last week. Is really very nice. See that. Folks, learn from the best. All right. Learn and earn. Interactive. These sessions are interactive. You get to interact with us using the questions box. And I should tell you, you're interacting with Aaron and myself. Your comments do not go out to the rest of the world, just to us. So there's no such thing as an embarrassing question you might feel that you shouldn't ask. If you don't know something, chances are you're speaking on behalf of 10 other people. So go ahead and just ask whatever that question is. We teach what we trade, and we trade what we teach. I'm very proud of that fact. We don't just give you a bag full of books and say, here, good luck, or we don't give you a lot of rhetoric or redundant indicators you don't use, or strategies that we never use. No. We teach what we trade, and we trade what we teach. And this goes hand in hand. You can watch us make real trades on real setups using real money. Any questions, you get them answered in real time. We've been doing this now since 2010. I think we learned a few things along the way. So I want to take you to the next step here. All right. And I want you to not tell anybody here, but there's been some talk about us doing the 2 to 10K challenge. This is something we had done, all right, recently, a couple months ago. Actually, we started this in April. We posed this challenge, and we do this in the trading room, all right, and we took $2,000 and turned it into $10,000 in less than 3 months. We started in mid-April. Our target was mid-July. We actually came, I think, a week or so in advance, and we did it without breaking a sweat. And what we're going to do is we're going to do this again now. It hasn't been publicly announced yet, so I'm just kind of giving you a heads up on this. All right, you are the first ones to hear about this. I think we did sort of hint around in the trading room, and this is going to be on September the 18th. You're going to want to get in on this. It's going to be in the trading room, and it's going to be formally announced. This is going to be formally announced soon. But I'm giving you a heads up here that those in the trading room are going to witness again the 2 to 10K challenge starting April the 18th. Sort of not April. What am I talking about? September the 18th. September the 18th. All right. So you're going to want to get in on that. All right. So, all right. And this is my question to you. Look at, knowing what I know, I don't think I could ever afford to not subscribe to the trading room, because we're talking here about $699 for a 3-month subscription. This guy here, he's pretty excited about it, and he keeps popping up and pointing to this side. Cute little guy. I should give him a name. Who does that? That looks like Jim, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think Jim's a good name.
Yeah, Jim. He looks like Jim at Eagle. He's a guy at Eagle. He does a lot of customer service at Eagle. Yeah, that'd be him. All right, folks, let's get into the beachside chat here. Let me see what comments we got coming up here. Yes, congratulations, Mike V, for that comment here, making 4K last week net. That is awesome here. John H got involved in too many different types of trading instead of focusing on a specific type. I think that's important to find your strength, your niche, your whatever. Look, I'm not saying that our style is for everybody. I know that's for a lot of people. They enjoy it. We have different kind of strategies that we use. We've got the bread and butter, which waits for that particular setup. go ahead and make some 6%. We got our scalp, which I like to do repeatedly, just make a few cents over and over and over again, which is a lot of fun. We've got our OMG, which is short for out of the morning gate, which is great if you can't watch markets all day, but you got that few minutes in the morning there. You get in, make some money, get out. And we've got Aaron's deep dive analysis, which is phenomenal. And I got to tell you, the other day you did it again, Aaron. You predicted the market's going to go way up there, and I'm scratching my head thinking, oh boy, that's a pretty lofty goal here. I hope he's right. And when you know it, by the end of the day, I don't know what time it was. I think about 11 o'clock. Suddenly the market just shot up and up and up and up, and I thought, holy smokes! And if I recall, you hit it bang on. It's like, wow, how did you know that? But this stuff is solid gold, folks. Solid gold. And by getting into the trading room now, all right, you're going to get ready for when we have the 2 to 10K challenge. So imagine for a second here, Christmas is coming up. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? So if we start here in the middle of September, so October, November, middle of December, you can turn 2K into 10K. That can make for a very nice holiday season, right? Christmas, whatever, you could actually have a very nice Christmas with $10,000. I had one guy tell me he wants to take his family on a really nice Caribbean cruise, and that's what he's going to work towards. So now, if you want to start with more money, of course, you can scale it up however you want to do it. But this is what we do, and we did this before, and we didn't even trade every day. And that was the nice thing about it. We just traded, whenever we saw the opportunity. But we do it in the trading room. All right, we do it in the trading room. All right, let's get to some other questions here. Brandon saying his best training came from a combination of YouTube videos, books, Discord memberships, articles, actual trading. More power to you if you learn a lot. I don't. My thing with that is, and I know there's a lot of material out there, but I also noticed you have to purge through a lot of stuff to kind of get what's good, what's relevant, what sort of fits. But if you find a system that kind of suits your style and really delve into it in a big way, you can advance that learning curve much faster and get the information faster and start making money faster. Another question here, a lot of times this thing's very expensive. I say to people, look, you quickly forget the expense when you're making some serious money. And I had this question, I think it was 2 weeks ago. Somebody said, $1,000 for training or something. And I said, don't look at what it costs you. Look at how quickly you're going to learn things, and how how much sooner you're going to actually be making money. It's a big difference between making money this coming next week type of thing, or a month or two down the road, right? Because you'll have had that time between, say, next week and a month down the road that you're not making money, but you could have. And imagine if you're making even $200 a day, that's $1,000 a week, right? And if you're going to make that money, the same money, a month down the road, you just lost an opportunity cost of $4,000 or more. So it's not how much it costs, it's how much that value you're going to get from that money, from the training. And by the way, that training is going to stay with you for a very, very long time. Okay, Pei-Ling, I like this lady. I love this lady. I like the way or strategy you traded. That's why I decided to follow you. I just quit my 9-to-5 day job, and I don't want to find another one and do this every day. LOL. Congratulations. She quit her day job so she can trade. Isn't that awesome? That is so awesome. Pei-Ling, I am going to strip this comment off, and I am going to put this up on a thing here. I just want to save this particular comment. I think this is awesome. You quit your day. Now that's confidence, ladies and gentlemen. That is amazing. That's actually total confidence in herself. And that's what I really like. It reminds you of the bird, bird sitting on the twig. The bird doesn't put its trust on the twig is not going to break. The bird trusts that its wings will bring it down to safety should the twig fail. And that's what we do. We try to teach people how to trade and how to recognize the roadblocks and where things can go wrong, and what happens if this happens, what happens if that happens. Are you going to quickly run away and cut your losses? Are you going to try to just hold on the status quo and see if it'll come back up? Are you going to repair the trade? To us, cutting the losses is our last resort, not the first, which is why I think net we have a real nice positive on things. So, all right, some more questions here. That's really good to see that, Paley. Thank you so much for that. Can you swing trade the SPY successfully if you work and can trade every day? Brandon's got a question. Aaron, I'm going to let you answer that one here. Can you swing trade SPY successfully? Because you're more into the swing, I think, than I am. So what do you think,
Sure.
Aaron?
Yeah, what I would say is that you really have to be confident in your analysis, and use what I would do is use indicators at first, and then if you follow along with our videos and watching the videos at the end of the day, you could actually watch the, if you have a quick break or something, I come in at around 10:15 to 10:20. What you could do is watch the videos quickly, just take a bathroom break or something, watch the video quickly on your cell phone, see what our sentiment and understanding of the market is, and maybe place a small trade and see what happens throughout the rest of the day. I do know people that swing trade SPY and other things like Forex and commodities. It is possible to do that. You have to look at more, I would say, more like a 1 hour, maybe a 1 hour, 30-minute and 15-minute chart, rather than, a 15-minute, 5-minute, 1-minute chart that we do in the trading room. So if you look at the 1 hour or even the 4 hour, like a 4 hour, 1 hour, 15-minute, or a 1 hour, 30-minute, 15, or 1 hour, 15-minute, 5-minute, then you can do that. Especially if you look at your phone. I do know people that trade quite profitably while they are working. So yeah, I do think that it's possible. It's just going to take you a little bit longer probably to master. So if you do get started, either the trading room or the inner circle, I would definitely recommend that you practice, put a lot of practice trades and do really know what you're doing, and make sure that you are buying options a week out in advance, just so you have enough time to get in and out of the trade. We are coming up with something that's going to be highly profitable, but it's more of a intraday strategy. Obviously, you'll miss out on that. But if you start now, maybe in 6 months or so, you can build yourself up a nice nest egg. If you get into our ultimate training workshop training course that we had, as well as understand the basics of buying and selling options, then you will be definitely ahead of the game, and put your money to work for you.
That's awesome. Yeah, I like that idea. I'm reminded of this one guy I had years ago, Dan. He was an accountant working in a public accounting office. So he didn't really have a lot of time. He couldn't watch charts all day, and his boss is always hovering around. And you're working, right? You're working. You just can't really do this at the same time. And but I remember he would go into the men's room with his laptop, and he used to call him stall number 3 trader, just for fun. So he'd be in the men's room and install number 3, and open up his laptop, enter his trades. A few minutes later, close up his laptop and go back to work. And he'd come back later and the money's in his account, type of thing. It was actually pretty cool. It was really funny. He would tell me about it and just laughing. Oh my gosh. What strange. What extent people would go through to get into a trade here. So, all right, some more questions here. You had a special on coaching, personal coaching last week, 10 hours for $9.95. Is that still on? No, that is actually now off the table. We actually promoted that for 2 weeks and we filled our spots on that. Thank you very much for those that signed up. Awesome. You are good on those. You all got the emails and everything, and which was actually really amazing. We still do personal one-on-ones. It is $185 an hour. If you're interested, you can go to our website. I think there's under workshops at the end on the workshop at the bottom. You can register for that. Again, that's $185 an hour if you want personal one-on-ones. But we still have the ultimate training course. I saw that is still on the website, the DayTradeSPY.com website. Let me see if I can find that for you right here. That is still up there at the top, ultimate training workshop. You can still get this for, click here to learn more, to get this $9.95, believe it or not. Aaron, I don't know why they didn't drop it off yet. I thought they were going to by now, but hey, it's still on. So grab it. You get, and I'm not promoting this right now, but it's there. You can have it. You're going to get like what, 10, 11 hour and a half plus videos. It's all there. You can watch the videos as much as you want. It's all there. And we cover everything. Okay. We cover everything. So again, just simply go to the website, DayTradeSPY.com. At the very top where it says Ultimate Training Workshop, click through that, pick that up, and you'll get a really good, background on what we're doing here. So, but
yeah, recently that course was over $3,000.
oh yeah,
that's probably the cheapest you're ever going to see it and now and in the future. So I would definitely scoop it up. Yeah, I think you have access to it for 6 months.
At least,
and at least 6 months exactly. And watch the videos a few times, and then you'll be more than ready to get into the trading room and understand what we're talking about every day, as well as start to initiate. If you've never been in the market before, if you never have traded, a single day in your life, you'll be able to start trading a demo account and be able to start practicing on your own. It definitely sets you up for success on that.
Yeah, I should tell you that you don't have to take the course to get on Trading Room. So if you know what calls and puts are, and you're willing to just learn stuff, and we really do teach. Okay, we're not just rambling on. It's not a watch you and Aaron trade show. No, we actually teach everything we do. So you want to get it on that one. So that is still valid. Grab that. There are 2 guarantees I can give you. Number one is the price for that course will never be lower than $9.95. Okay, not on my watch, not on Aaron's watch. We do not go out that. Okay, that's never going to be lower than $9.95. If you're waiting for a lower price, not going to happen. So, in fact, as soon as they take that off the website, it's probably going to go back to regular price. Excuse me. I've been talking all day here. Had the grandkids over and stuff. So anyway, so the other thing, the other guarantee is that if you do not know what you are doing with options, you will lose your money. You will lose your money. Okay. I hate to tell you that, but you have to know what you're doing with options. You might not lose it right away, but I guarantee you will. You will at some point blow up your account. You'll say, what did I do? What did I do? All right. Another question here. Can we get in on the 2 to 10K challenge without joining the trading room? I don't know how. It's done in the trading room. That's where we execute the trades. That's where we discuss the trades. That's where we monitor the trades. It's all done in the trading room. You're going to be part of it. There's no extra charge for that. All you have to do is just be in the trading room. We generally talk about it after the fact in the inner circle update as to what we did. But don't you want to get the information before we execute the trade rather than after? Coulda, woulda, shoulda, right? Another question here. I've got a small account to work with. Got several calls that went bad, trying to fix or repair them, or at least lose less or break even. How can this be accomplished? Again, Gene, by being in our trading room, we teach you that. So we'll teach you how to, first of all, should you get into this trade or not? By the way, not all setups are good setups. They might be good setups, but maybe you shouldn't take the trade. And we discussed this in the trading room, why you maybe should not get this trade, this setup, because technical setups are not the only thing you should be watching. Okay. I think that's very key. But this is things that we teach. So even if you get into the trading room for a little while and learn these certain key things, I think you're going to gain a whole lot of great every little nuance that we talk about, every little thing we talk about has a cumulative effect on your success. For example, I mentioned this years ago to somebody. I said, you have to understand that the market is not your adversary. In fact, it's your best friend. And when I showed them all the different opportunities it gave you during the course of a day, using the 1 to the 5 minute charts, they said, yeah, think of it like a dancing partner. Okay. Now I'm not a dancer, but obviously I know what it is. So if you take 1 step forward, the market takes a step back. Market takes 2 steps forward, you take 2 steps back. You're dancing with the market. At some point when you're ahead of the game, you say, okay, I'm going to sit down and rest now. Give me the money. And then you stop and you take your profits, right? That's kind of what it's all about. And then you wait for the next dance. And this is what and then when you understand that the market is actually your best friend, suddenly, and that the enemy is actually the person in the mirror, instantly that change in attitude is going to mean some positive effect on your trading results. All right. I've talked to a lot of people who think that the enemy is the market, and it's actually not. It's actually your friend, your best friend. Phil L, good to see you back from the hospital. Oh, 3 trips to emergency room. Not good. Hope all is well with you, buddy. Next week with the doctors. Thank you, Hugh and Aaron. And Phil, might want to kind of cool it a little bit, but we'll see you in the 2 to 10K challenge for sure. And he's still signed up for a 14-day cruise in the Caribbean, God willing. Of course, our prayers are still with you on all that. Make sure your health stays good on this one here, man. That's you don't want to get sick. All right. We sometimes joke, Aaron and I, about how we should probably get doctor's notes for stay in good health to trade, because it can certainly do some damage to your physical being, right? If all the stress that you have, if you cannot endure it. So another question here: how long should we commit to the trading room to get good at it? And is this a long-term commitment? Well, let me see. $6.99 for 3 months. I think it's a good start. I will tell you this, that the people who are in the longest do the best, and they are doing very well. We have some people in the trading room that have been there for years, and they are doing very, very, very well. I think, again, you'll find a lot of times, Aaron, this week we had people saying to us, I made more money today than the whole year in the trading room. And I thought, that's pretty cool, right? That's pretty cool. So thank you for that. So the longer you're in the trading room, the better trader you're going to be. That's just the simple course.
There was one gentleman that just started. He said that he made something like 300% in his account, which is as much as he made working for an entire year. But he might have been putting a little bit too much in the market this week. But just to say that, I was happy to see that he did make a lot of money this week. So, but yeah, this week was actually a really good week.
That is amazing. That is amazing. I know. I've got a lot of still a few questions here, but I know we got a lot of accolades on that. I'm just very excited for these people and to made money and on a kind of a down time of the year. August, September is kind of just like I showed you earlier, it was kind of flat. So to make money on a flat period, that's pretty darn good. That's pretty darn good. Another question here. I don't know much about options. Where can I learn all I need to know? All you need to do is come with us. We have the course, we have the material, we have the interest, we have the motivation, we have everything to guide you and guard you, get you on track. Set up, if you're not sure, set up a brief one-on-one chat with us. Go to our website. There's a little, I think it's a contact us up in the top left. Click on that. Go to our online calendar. Book a one-on-one. We'd love to talk to you. It doesn't cost you anything. We'll spend 15, 20 minutes together, discuss your goals, your aspirations, where you are, how much you have to start with, how we can make it all happen. Okay. And we do that free of charge. Got one more quick comment here from Terry W. This is the guy who's been with us for years. And big capital letters, take the course. All right. That is the long and short of it, folks. Take the course, get in the trading room. Please join us. You're going to really enjoy it. Now, I'm going to tell you, oh my gosh, the singers are ready to go. Folks, once again, don't hesitate. All right. And I think at the end of this session, you're going to get the URL posted up on your screen there about just joining in with this. So go for it. If you're not in the trading room yet, well, maybe you should be. All right. Check it out. 2 to 10K challenge coming up September the 18th. Be ready for it and join right in. As soon as it's up there, just start, and then you can take that and run with it. So, all right. Watch for the formal announcement as well. All right. With that, thank you very much for joining us, Aaron. Thank you. We'll see you Tuesday morning in the trading room. Yep. Been a pleasure.
Have a wonderful and safe Labor Day holiday.
Yes. Did all that for me.
And there ain't no stopping now. You're the one. Shine brighter than the moon and the sun. Be great at what you do. Give it all of you. And trust the process and keep your eyes on the prize. I can tell you what I'm seeing. You can have